Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova. This Shabbat we observe Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, what we call Shabbat Shabbaton, the Sabbath of all Sabbaths. As we do every year during the high holidays, we stand at a crossroads between life and death, between withholding and forgiveness, between fear and faith. At the core of Yom Kippur is the understanding that despite our own failures, God recognizes the good in each of us and continues to believe in us. As the day goes on, from Kol Nidre through Ne'ilah, each one of us feels our spiritual facade begin to dissipate, while the gate to our truest self gently opens. On Yom Kippur, we are preparing to bring our most vulnerable core to stand humbly before the judgment of God. We learn in the Jewish tradition that for transgressions against God, the Day of Atonement atones. But for transgressions against your fellow human beings, the Day of Atonement does not atone until one asks for forgiveness. So there's still time to make things right. At this time of year, I always reflect on the amazing story that was in the book called Tuesdays with Maury, where Maury Schwartz, at the very end of his life after fighting ALS, weeks away from his own death, could no longer move his arms and legs. In the book, he pleads, and I quote, "If there's anyone you care about that you're fighting with right now, let it go," he says. "Say you're wrong even if you think you're right, because I promise you that when you get to this point in your life," and he nods to his dying body, "you won't care who's wrong or right. You'll only want to savor every minute that you have with them." And so on Yom Kippur, I always reflect on the words of Maimonides. Free will is given to every person. If he or she desires to direct themselves to paths of goodness, they may do so. If they desire to direct themselves to paths of evil, they may do so. God does not force or decree upon them to do good or evil. It is all in our own hands. Don't forget, on this Yom Kippur, it's all in your hands.